The late 90s and early 2000s was an interesting part of our planet's timeline. Car culture was evolving similar to how technology and video games were evolving. A small game developer by the name of Rockstar Games, who you may have heard of before, realized this and decided to capitalize on these new trends within a virtual environment, and would go on to create what they would call Midnight Club. Midnight Club was a racing game centered around the sport of illegal street racing for the PlayStation 1, becoming the first ever racing game to do so, 3 years before Underground 1 had arrived on the scene. But how were they going to market such a game? Well, just like everybody else, they used the internet. And so a website was created for the sole purpose of hyping up their brand new game, utilizing the incredible technology of Adobe Flash Player. And they went on to make one for every single Midnight Club game that they would ever release. And all of them are still available online today. And so before Adobe Flash Player is discontinued in 2021, I thought we'd take a look at them together and relive some good old memories with the boys. Our first site is for the original Midnight Club, coming October 26th, 2000. For some, speed is all that's left in the urban jungle. I'm not entirely sure what is meant by that, but okay. Straight away, we have 4 options to choose from: London, New York, information, and street racing, which ironically sums up the first game quite well. In London, we have a choice between movie clips and race footage. Movie clips no longer has any movie clips, you'll be sad to know. However, the race footage tab still has all its screenshots available. That is, if you can even make out what's happening in any of them, considering they have less pixels than a 90s porn film. But it's a website from the year 2000, so I suppose I can't exactly expect all that much. In New York, we have an extra option than before, allowing us to view some of the stunning examples of vehicular artwork that this game has to offer. Utterly horrifying, and I'm going to be sick. Information gives us some background on the game itself. Midnight Club is the first video game to feature the new underground sport, illegal street racing. Speed freaks, car nuts, and boy racers from illicit societies around the world with only one thing in mind: to find out who is... Yeah, sorry if you wanted to read any more of that, the scroll arrows don't actually work. The final tab is Street Racing, which features practically nothing but a selection of random images from the real late 90s tuner scene, which is quite strange actually, to even think that this Supra was still a brand new car back then. This is all that the first website has to offer. A somewhat strange experience, no doubt about it. However, now it's time to take a leap 2 years into the future, to visit the release of Midnight Club 2. Starting off with Los Angeles, the Midnight Club 2 website is already a large step up from the previous one. Not that that's particularly difficult, and lets us choose between vehicles, challengers, and map. Vehicles let you choose a car to view information about it. However, at the bottom, we also have a selection of screenshots along with a movie. However, upon clicking this movie, the site will begin automatically downloading a video file to your PC, a video file that can only be opened through VLC Media Player. This is what it downloaded. I'm not entirely sure what I was expecting, to be honest, but that was probably close enough, honestly. The challengers menu is pretty much the same as cars, but for people. Moses, good-natured, possibly to a fault, as benevolence gets you nowhere in this game. Nevertheless, a skilled and very formidable racer. Don't let his friendly demeanor soften your competitive edge. Ah yeah, he looks friendly. He looks like a human blimp. Big ol' cushion, a big ol' beanbag of a man. He's a lovely, cuddly, friendly man who I would like to spend my day with, yes. Before I show the rest, I will quickly swap the location to Paris, which even comes equipped with its own Paris-themed soundtrack. I mean, this is pretty much what Paris does sound like. Also worth noting that changing the radio station does not in fact stop the sound of rapid gunfire. However, there are some cool new screenshots you can look at. You can also rotate the bike's 3D model if you're interested, or even click this default HTML style button to turn it into a wireframe. wireframe, because it's the 2000s and this is what's cool. There was once a mini film available for Paris, however unfortunately that video is no longer available to download. However, the car films still are, which I'm slightly confused about. If you thought that a spinning wireframe motorbike was cool, then check this guy out. We quite literally have a British Essex lad DJ called Blog. Just let that sink in. Oh Jesus. Just let that sink in for a minute, okay? The last tab I've yet to show you is the map function, which gives you a full display of the city's map, along with a 3D sped up view of a car racing around it. You can also drag this box thing around to zoom in on the cars while they do so. So what is the purpose of this? Well, there isn't really. Someone was just paid to make it, and this is what they came up with. Tokyo is more or less the same shit as the other two locations, so there's nothing really worth mentioning here. However, backing out of the Flash side of things, there is another standard website that accompanies it, featuring additional news and information about the game, old reviews and pre-order links, most of which no longer work. However, most interestingly, there is a downloads page, featuring a downloadable PC demo, wallpapers, screensavers that download as a zip file containing an exe file in them, no thanks, and also buddy icons, which do absolutely nothing and lead completely nowhere. I do not know what they're for. They just do nothing. There is also an additional download for a Winamp skin. Winamp skin for Winamp 3 only. For those who don't know, Winamp is a media player for Windows first released in 1997. The website still exists today under Llama's Ass Whisper Academy. Give your opinion. What would whip the llama's ass? I've decided I don't like this website. Rather regretfully, I downloaded a copy of Winamp 3 just to see what it would look like. And here it is.
Winamp. It really whips the llama's ass.
I genuinely do not know what I was expecting with this. Moving onward to 2005, we land ourselves in the land of Midnight Club 3. And once again, we have a downloads page, however this time, there's nothing really exciting. The contest menu no longer works, unsurprisingly. However, the trailers menu does. And despite the fact that none of the trailers listed are said to be available, by simply clicking the links at the top of the screen, we are able to download them without any issue. However, this time, you're stuck between QuickTime Player or Windows Media. They gave up on VLC as it seems, as did most people around this time, but some people still use it. Old people and school teachers, that's the target demographic. Getting back on track, the Flash section of the website prompts us to choose a floor based upon which vehicle category we wish to view. Floor number 4 contains a lot of copyrighted music as it turns out, but also these beautiful machines. Clicking on a car leads us to a menu where we can spin the model around at unreasonably high speeds, while also having the option to view a deluxe version of the same car. A button I instantly regret clicking. At the top of the page there is a customization option, which opens up a menu where we get to customize the car ourselves, with wheels, neons and body kits. Some body kits are, more desirable than others. Whoever designed this needs to be However, it is a cool feature for the website nonetheless. Each car once again has their own screenshots and videos. As per usual, however, clicking on these videos takes you nowhere. And that leaves us with a bit of a dead end to this website. There is also a separate website specifically for the Remix Edition. There isn't really much to see here, however it does have a few downloadable videos that are still available. It's about what you'd expect really. It has the active physics of a pinball machine. Our final website is probably the most advanced, but also the most confusing one. For Midnight Club LA from October of 2008. And when I say confusing, I literally mean it has 5 different buttons that take you to the exact same page. Admittedly, half of them work. Once again, it is a repeated formula. It offers cars to look at, customized and stock. However, this time we have an option for a 3D screenshot. After waiting about 14 days for it to actually load, we can finally see Bootleg Paul Walker in all its shitty 3D glory, or at least we could if the camera wasn't so difficult to control. There is also a zoom view option that lets you zoom in on a photograph. Great. More screenshots, more descriptions accompanied by screenshots, more PSP screenshots, and lastly, some promotional trailers for the game, this time embedded directly into the website rather than for download. That is, except for the giant red "click here" button, that takes you directly to the downloads page. You can get a Midnight Club shoe! Oh my god, my life is complete. In downloads, you can get a screensaver, wallpapers, official wallpapers, dual wallpapers, handheld wallpapers, iPhone wallpapers, and buddy icons, which once again, do fucking nothing. Unfortunately, however, this is pretty much all there is to see. Oh, apart from the outdated Pizza Hut competitions and a 2009 dub show tour guide. I was honestly surprised to see that all of these websites are still up and running today, especially some of the older ones. And with the fall of Flash Player at the end of 2020, we may also witness the fall of old websites such as these. And so may this video bury itself as a little internet time capsule from me, for Midnight Club, and for Rockstar Games. Make sure to leave a like before you go, and thank you very much for watching. I know this video was slightly different than the usual, but I thought this topic was interesting, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.